Okay, we are live just a minute or two late. So welcome everybody to another live stream where we are going to be working on Stoke Fire, our mobile game that is built on chain. It's going to be fun. Let's see if I can just make a real quick post on here on Farcaster so that if anyone wants to join in, they can and they'll see it. Let's see, I'll quote this. There we go. Sweet, yeah, this has been fun. Just did a big update this morning for the game where I think I had a big thread that I talked about it here. This took me some time. This was quite a lot on this update. But really important update. So basically, when you get rewarded in Stoke Fire, it's coming from the volume, from the fees, from Fire. And kind of how it worked before is it would just be a percentage, your score, the percentage over the total, all the other villagers. So your score divided by the total score of all villages, that would be like your rewards that you would get. The problem with this is as new players come in, you're pretty much going to just get less because the new villages would automatically be taking your rewards, even though they weren't here. Like they weren't here when those fees came through. And so I did this whole kind of refactor on the smart contracts to do these calculations where now you're only getting rewards after you've kind of been there. I feel like I'm not explaining this very well. Probably just read this. This explains it better. Rewards still come from 2% volume, but the rewards are distributed to you as they come in based on your score divided by total score. So now it's like you're kind of incentivized to keep your village and kind of grow it bigger so that in the future you should hopefully get more rewards as there's more fees and things like that. So a big change, a big incentive change that will hopefully, incentivize people to want to create their village as good as possible and then continue building it. And that's kind of the point of this game is it's like you create your village and you're just kind of, it's like a fun game where it's like over time, like, maybe you spend 5 minutes a day kind of tinkering with it, doing some strategy. But you're keeping this village over a longer period of time instead of, just a game where you're like, play it for a couple days and then put it away. So yeah. Cool. So that was the big update that we just did. Also, if you have any questions about that, let me know in the chat on Twitter or YouTube, and I can do that. But now kind of we've got lots of things to tackle, lots of ideas. There's going to be like new features and things to add strategy and whatnot. But on the flip side, I think that we need to make this look a tiny bit better. We need to make the colors. The main thing is the color scheme. And then also there's definitely some UI components that could look a little better to make things a little bit more clear. But mainly I don't like just like a white, everything's white. And especially if you're stoking the fire at night, it kind of hurts your eyes. It's kind of blinding, right? And so I want to actually move to a more dark color palette. And we need to change this pixel art because it's kind of funny. It's like this flame that's just like floating in the air. I actually already have another one that has it's actually like a campfire kind of look. Thanks 0x Blue. Glad. Yeah, it was fun. Glad to do the building. I'm enjoying the building. Anyways, so yeah, gonna actually have like a campfire kind of look. So we need to swap that out and figure out how to do that. But let me show you the color palette because I've been playing around with this. It's not maybe perfect, but let's see if I pull this down. Here we go. So it's not perfect, but it's kind of a more pastel color palette, which I like. I think that looks better. This red here is going to be like our new fire color. So instead of if I jump back over here, instead of this orangish red color and that yellow color, it's going to be this reddish pastel color and then this kind of yellowish color. And that would kind of be the base of our palette, that we'll kind of start with those colors. And then I think this dark blue, this might be our background. We'll see. Maybe it's just like the background of where the fire's at, and then, but it might, maybe it's everywhere, because we're going to kind of switch over to kind of a more dark color palette. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea with that. And then I'm just kind of play around with it, just kind of like see what, like I think these colors, these buttons need to kind of stick out a little bit more. Another problem is, so right now this button is disabled because, you've already chopped wood, and that's why it then has like the cooldown bar that's showing when you'll be able to chop wood again. But in some ways it still looks kind of clickable. Like I think some people are trying to click this because it doesn't look that much different than like the normal kind of button. So that's kind of a problem that we're going to want to fix, and figure out as well. And then we're just going to have to go through here and change things. So let's first start out by swapping this fire here. Let's see, where I might have saved this somewhere. App Store, yada yada. This is all like my Stoke Fire assets and things. If I can find where it's at, it might not be in here. It might be in Sprite and then Stoke Fire maybe. Then we've got like the fire animation wood. So I use Sprite for all the pixel art stuff. I think this might be it potentially. Oh yeah, and there's the animation. So this is that new color palette. Pretty cool. I wonder what, I wonder what brown color I used here. If that's the same, let's move this. That's definitely a different brown here. We might just go with this one for some different brown colors. Okay, so we have that one. Was there any other ones? Oh yeah, I also have, we can look at some other animations I've worked on. This one is gonna potentially be our loading animation. You like that? trying to make it a little bit more pixely, like a pixel animation. So instead of just like the default loading animation, it's it's kind of supposed to be like embers. I think there's a screen on the game. I don't know if you remember when you first open up the game. It's like embers. What does it say? Embers. Now I have to pull it up so I can remember. Embers smoldering. So that's what this is. These are like embers smoldering, right? They're smoldering. Anyways, that's another one. But I think what we're looking at here is actually our animation. And then I'm gonna have to figure out how to export it, because I exported the original one like a long time ago. Let's see. What's this? This one is the other one. Let's see. Looks like my kid might have just woke up. I need to go. I'll be back in a second. I'll need to go send them off. Okay, we're all good. Just had to make sure he knew he could get up from his nap. Okay, so this one, this is like the old one. Yeah, this is the old one. So we don't want that. Don't save. I think all we need to do here is hide that, because we won't want that background. That's looking pretty good. This brown, I wonder if we should change this. So if I copy this, I wonder if this color will be better. Okay, I think it's here. If I copy that, I gotta remember how to use Sprite. It's been a little bit since I've been in here. If I go in here, copy. Hey, this actually looks. Wait, that can't be it, is it? So we're using 49C. Yeah. There's no way. There we go. Then we go this. Oh, okay. So this already is that color. So that's good. So yeah, we already had that color in there to match kind of the palette. Okay, cool. So, and then if I do grab this just to make sure, DC, D27C, yeah. So that's what we have. So I'm pretty sure I have a special, if I can find it. Don't remember this says, so I want to show anything I shouldn't, but I want to find, I think I have some like special command that will export this from the command line, if I can remember, because Sprite's weird with Sprite being able to export. Here we go. Being able to export all my terminal tabs up here. Being able to export a GIF, but also enlarging it, because since this is pixel art, we need to enlarge it. So we have this special command that should do the trick. Fire animation. We want fire animation wood. Got to get the right name here. Wood.asprite. We're going to scale it up 8. We're going to print it out. Sheet fire sheet.png. JSON array. Where is it going to create this? Like, where is this going to go? I'm not really sure. It might go, I don't know, I guess we'll just try. We'll see if this works. No document to export. Okay, so we're doing something wrong. Maybe, well, first let's save. File not found, fire animation wood.asprite. Did I spell that wrong? Fire animation wood. I see. We got to go to the right directory here. So let's go. Where are we? We're in pictures, maybe? Yeah, pictures. Asprite. I think Stoke Fire. And now we have that firewood one. And I think it worked. So I'm guessing it just puts it out where we were. Fire sheet.json. And then should it be PNG? This dot ace. Oh yeah, it might be this firesheet.png. Aha. So this, it makes like a sprite sheet, right? You know those for games and stuff. So we have a sprite sheet, And it goes through our 6 stages of the animation. And then what we get is we get this little data, which actually we will pull in and we can look at it. So now, if I actually find the project, let's pull this over here so we can see it. Okay, so we're in the Stoke Fire project. Go to assets, images, sprite sheet. So you can see the old one here. We've got fire sheet.json. This is the old animation. This is what this JSON looks like. It's kind of like showing data for each stage. So let's go ahead and just remove these. If it'll let me. Okay, I guess I have to delete, move to trash. And then we'll pull that in. Why doesn't it let me pull it in? All right, we can do Command C, paste. Okay, there. So it should be in. And so now, if I reload, start your engines, reload, we should have something here that's working. We're going to change this stuff, this little loading icon at some point too, because that needs to go as well. Whoa. Okay, that is not correct. Not supposed to be flying across the screen here. So I imagine that is something to do with having like an offset incorrect or something. We'll have to think about this. Either it's pointing to the wrong JSON, or somehow we have to like shift this over. I remember something like this happening before, but now I just got to remember, how did we fix it? All right, so let's go see like where this thing is even used. Components, village screen. I think I probably have a component in here, animated sprite right here. So it's looking at this. Probably need to make sure these hard-coded widths are correct. So let's see. This has dimensions, 3,400. Yeah, so those are wrong dimensions. So that could be your problem. But also, does that mean that we exported it wrong? When we exported it, not that. We did a scale 8, which I think we went. So it's probably fine. But whatever I had before, apparently I had a different scale. 3, 4, 5, 6. And 5, 7, 6. So, you know, what's interesting about this right now is for each pixel asset, like I'm putting in this A sprite, or I'm putting in like a sprite sheet, and I kind of have to like manually do this kind of stuff. Someday, once we want to have like more art and stuff, it will probably make sense to actually have like some kind of actual game engine. Use some kind of like JS game engine. Okay, so now this isn't showing at all. So probably did something wrong. Let's get rid of that. It also is potentially just a very large image now, which could potentially be bad. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah. Okay. I think we might want to try to export this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 6 positions, which the image does have. Oh wait, what are we going to here? .json, yeah, fire sheet. So that's good. We had like an extra one that we're using before, so I think we're using the right one. Fire sheet.json. And then does it point to the right PNG? Yes. Looks like we accidentally threw one here earlier. Okay. These are like way smaller. Let's delete that. So we don't have duplicates. But yeah, probably having at some point some kind of actual game engine, like proper JS game engine would probably make sense at some point. All right, get rid of that. We don't want duplicates. Let's see if in our trash, what was this? This one. Can I pull it back? Just so I can see it. I want to see how many pixels this was. Okay, so this was the 2240. This was what we had. So maybe it's a different dimension, maybe a different size, scale, I guess. Fire managed wood. Let's try a different scale and see what we get. Yada, yada, yada. No, we want a spray Stoke Fire. Okay, so now we're at 2240 and 2592. Actually, now I think about it, we're gonna have a different scale because I modified the animation, I added wood, I added stuff like that. That's probably why it's bigger. So maybe we try this scale. 2592. And we've got 432. And potentially, actually, we might want to modify what we have a little bit more as well to get rid of some of the transparent padding and stuff like that, because we don't really need that extra information in the image. So it probably doesn't make sense to have that. But we'll see. We'll see how this looks. Why? Why is it flying sideways? It's going through the different animations. Oh yeah, we need to is there an offset or something? Oh yeah, width and height. Probably have to change this too, because that's most likely different. So if we go to here, Obviously, I should have played around with this a little bit before because I kind of forget how this all works. Canvas size. So it's 72 by 72. Interesting. It's like, why was it so big last time then? All right, let's see what we get. Okay, now it's just not showing anything. Interesting. Now it's hidden. So we have how many images? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we do that total by 6, this is how much the width of each one should be. Yeah, because we scaled it. Let's see if this does it. Does this do the trick for us? Would be nice to see, I'm just reading the comment, would be nice to see when able to, again, to do a defense again. Yeah, so you kind of are able to. Let me see if I can show you here. So see at the top here, if you are able to set a defense again, it will show you this set up your defense button. So if you kind of go, if you've been attacked, you're like, okay, I've been attacked. Whenever you've been attacked, you're able to set a defense again because they, you revealed your defense and then they attacked you. So now you can go back and set up your defense. Okay, this is like very large. I think the other problem is it potentially just has an issue loading the image because it's so large. And so that might be our problem. Otherwise, it could maybe be good. Let's just try a smaller scale. Hello, green thumbs. Yeah, the deving is happening. It's happening. We're having fun. We're trying to update our pixel art to be this different color palette, having some logs, different animation. So we'll see how that works. I'm thinking, I wonder if I also forgot to update. I might have even forgotten to update. So we have our new fire sheet. Put that in there. Paste. And then we have our new fire sheet JSON. Put that in there. Paste. Oh, it does a copy. I'll have to delete that. This could partially be an issue. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Disky, how's it going? Yeah, still not showing nothing. All right. Well, this is kind of finicky. I will say that. All right. Let's try. Scale 4. So now we have 1728 by 288. Put those in. Delete. Move to trash. Delete. All right, so our new size 1728 by 288, which should mean that 288 is our width and height, I would think. 17. I'll just pull this up to make sure I get the right numbers. 1728 by 288. Actually, I think if I remember, I can just have this hard coded potentially. Or I can just like downsize the width and height, but it should stay relative. But we will see. Start that back up. Because this library that I'm using to basically handle sprites is kind of finicky. And look, we have it. We have some pixel art with the new colors. Finally, something worked. I think it's a little bit smaller, but it's probably good. I think it's looking good. I guess this is a square. Yeah, it was a square, so we should be good there. So we have this updated. Next thing. The larger the village becomes, we could see villagers gather around the fire. Gives me Age of Empires vibes. Yeah, Disky. I was thinking about some ideas like that. Like, eventually having villagers, pixel art for villagers, and having them gather around the fire and like more and more of them, the bigger you are. Yeah, definitely. The other thing I've thought about is, I don't have it here, but do you know on the, when you select how many villagers you want to chop wood or how many villagers you want to gather food, I don't know if you've gotten, so once you get to the part where you're above score 25, you then get to allocate your villagers to different tasks, right? I don't know if you've gotten to that part, but if you have, there's a slider bar and you can slide how many villagers are doing a task. What I think would be really cool is if there's kind of like an animation as you're sliding of like sending, like throwing out more villagers, and then like you slide it back and it's like pulling in villagers. I don't know, it could be kind of a funny thing, like a physics-y thing of just like throwing out villagers that it's like putting them to work. You can drop the options down and make the fire bigger. You like a bigger fire? I was thinking maybe we need a smaller fire, especially once we have more actions that you can do under here. I don't know. I think this is at least decent for now. Okay, let's exit out that. Okay, so we have our fire. Next thing, we're gonna play around with this dark color palette here. Let's actually copy a couple of these. This dark one. And maybe we should throw these in to our Tailwind config. So we have fire. We can update that. And then maybe I'll call this dark. So we'll have that color. And then let's update our fire color. This will update a couple different colors already in the app. And then what should we call this? Light, maybe yellow. We'll call it yellow. And then we'll do brown. We'll probably add a couple colors to this too as we kind of play around with it. And then, oops, this will then be, we'll just call this blue. All right, so we've got our color palette in there. Oh yeah, Disky, you don't have that option yet? Yeah, it kind of adds a little more strategy to the game. Once you get past score 25, I'm thinking about maybe even bringing it down, especially once I have more features, bring it down to like once you get over score 15, then you start allocating villagers, which kind of adds more strategy. Because then, you can kind of guess, or you can kind of like go for more of a resource or over another. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea there. All right, so to play around with this, excuse me, I think I have another view. Buttons, views, things. It's like a themed view. No, not in there. I'm looking for a view that I can like change, and then ideally it's, here we go, themed. So this default view. So what I could do is other props, style. Do I want style? I don't think I'm using this like anywhere right now, but the idea is that I can like override a view and then I'll just import this everywhere, and then that should work. So if I do background color, and we'll set this equal to, well, yeah, we can just set it to this now, even though I set the other one like so. And then, like if I go here, import view from, here it is, themed. Made my simulator crash, but so we are going to update that. Disky is at score 23. Yep, you're close. Oh, wow, look at that. We just really changed something there. It broke a thing or two, I think. Yeah, definitely. Everything's a little weird. But we do at least have that dark blue in there. We're going to have to change text, fonts, things like that as well to make this all look correct. But yeah, we're getting there. That's the start. It's a start. Themed, background color, other props. Let's redo that because I might have broke something. Add that. Maybe a slider to assign village to guard duty could be cool too. The rock, paper, scissors thing you mentioned in FC. This is, by the way, yes. Try to rob me? See you, Disky. Yeah, thanks for joining. Okay, so yes, the rock, paper, scissors thing. This is kind of where I'm going, actually, because I guess Green Thumb is going as well. The one last thing I'll say about what you were talking about is kind of the rock, paper, scissors strategy is actually, it's like a perfect kind of strategy. I mean, it's used in so many games, right? It's called like the circular game, like logic loop, where and it's actually something you have to have really in any kind of battle. This is used in Age of Empires 2 as well a lot, where you have to have different battle units that can beat another unit, but then each unit has to have a weakness, right? Where some other unit can beat that unit, and it's kind of circular, where you can always find something to beat a certain strategy, but it's kind of circular. So then you have to kind of make some strategy of choosing what makes sense based on the person you're attacking or the person that's attacking you, based on their history, what resources they have, things like that. Like that will all come into play and be part of the strategy. So that is kind of where I'm thinking, like where I'm thinking to go, which I think will be very cool, very fun. Right now, obviously, the strategy around the raiding and defending is very kind of like it's like one option or the other. So it's like a 50-50, and there's not a ton of choice there. But yeah, as we go, we're going to be building in more choice into that, which I think will make it more fun. So Maxim, hey, how's it going? Auto collect feature. So I'm not thinking to directly do that. But I am thinking of adding other options of ways to get resources that is more automated in a way. But to do that, you might have to pay something, or you might have to do something, because it's like either you can invest your time or your money / fire. Like those are kind of the two options, and we want to give people either option. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Is that we could have ways for you to get resources other ways, but you're going to have to maybe like Stoke Fire or do something to get that. You can't just get it for free, basically. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question. Okay, let's see if I fixed this, because I was messing around with it a little bit too much. Okay, perfect. So that's fixed-ish. Kind of have a darker look, and I need to update the other ones as well. So let's see if we go into our tab layout here. Tint color. Where do we set this? Don't think it would be in here. Default theme. Loading wrapper. Yeah, so there should be somewhere in here where we can set like the defaults. Actually, I think AI should know, because we can be like, how do you set the background color for tab view in? And then I'm pretty sure I indexed that. Oh, it's working hard. It's working real hard. It's taking its time to tell us how to do this. Otherwise, we'll just go look at the docs. And as long as it's taken, we could have maybe done this already. Tab bar style. Okay. Makes sense. Basically going to be updating a lot of colors here. We're wanting this one. Okay, so it did the bottom, but not the top. Should be like header, yeah, probably header style, I bet is what it is. Yep, that's it. Same color. Okay, now, everything's looking a little funny because now you can't see very well, but we'll have to change those colors as well, which will be good. And actually, we might be able to do that fairly quickly by going over to pixel text, because everything should be pixel text. And then if I do class name, yada, yada, that. And if we did like text white, there. Now it's all white. I think that's better. Let's grab this. And go back to our layout here. Background color, label style, active tint color. We'll set to that as well. It's a nicer looking color. Obviously, we got to do the background of this scroll view as well. We'll see if white is too bright on the text, but definitely better. Let's see. Header label style. Or color white. Let's see if that. Nope. Does not do the trick. Oh, header tile style. Here we go. So many styles. All right, there we go. Now it's white. All right, that's looking good. Now, if we go to maybe in here, loading wrapper. Got to find like the base background. Might even be of the stack here. Style. Content style. I'm just like finding these things. I don't really know what I'm doing here. My engines are really taking off on. Nope, that wasn't it. Is there a view? There's a view behind. Let's see if we go to index. This view should have. Oh yeah, it might be this. Get rid of that and do import. view from. Let's see, components, themed. There we go. Now you can see the whole background is the right color there. Get rid of this because that does nothing. All right. And now the question is like, how are we feeling about this? Obviously these buttons we kind of change. I would change. Yeah, we got, things that change here. These buttons kind of need to change. But is this color kind of a dark color? We'll make these buttons pop out more. I think these emojis, this is, going to be kind of one of the next things as well, is changing all these emojis to actually be pixel icons that we're going to create instead of just having emojis, because these colors don't really go either. And it kind of ruins the cool pixel vibe. But yeah, I think we're getting closer. Yeah, obviously those things need to change. I have to go through and update more. But I think I like this color a little better. We could have like a different background for just right on the fire to maybe have like more of like a background image or something. Could maybe play around with that. But I think I'm liking this better. What is my face? What do you mean, what is my face? This is my face, yes. Darker. You think it should be darker? Gambo? I'm not sure what you're questioning. Are you questioning, just the idea that I'm making it darker, or that it should be darker? Yeah, kind of. I'm thinking we're going for a different color palette. I'm not sure when you jumped in, but this is the color palette I've been playing around with. We've got, this is the fire. This has like the light parts of the fire. This is like a background, kind of just changing it up, doing a dark theme, is kind of the idea. Easier on the eyes. Oh, you say it should be darker than now. Yeah, I mean, we could do that. We could make like a, thank you, Maxon. Glad the palette looks solid. Kind of doing, I love pastel colors. And that's what I'm kind of going for. These are kind of like, it's kind of very, I guess, nice to the eyes that we're kind of going for. So yeah, I think that this is hopefully at least good to start with, and then we can kind of play around with some others. Let's change some colors here. This border white, change that, change. Let's see, we'll remove this. Okay, so that should change the backgrounds, and then should have a border somewhere. Border white, might be gray, might be better, but just gonna try white first. Action button. Do that, do this, do a little this, do a little that, get rid of that. Some lag. Okay. Maybe not. I don't know. Yikes. Definitely not that. Weird border there. I don't know. I think white sticks out too much. I think the buttons themselves need to be a different color so that they pop out a little bit more. And then maybe black still makes sense. So let's try with this, for example. We'll do border black. And then if we did like BG, maybe this is where we use one of our other colors. I think I called it blue, BG blue. A stroke that's like 20% lighter than background. That could be good. Ooh, look at this. We got our other color palette in there. Kind of like that. But yeah, I think instead of black, you're right. We should use something a little different. But this is kind of interesting with this new color palette in there. That new blue. Let's see, if I do like border, what is it, opacity? 80? Is that a thing? I think we'd have to do border dark. %, lighter, 50. Okay. Except it kind of makes it hide that actually, now I think about it. It'd have to be like a different color than our dark, because otherwise it just kind of fades in. But we could do something like that. Like, let's see if I grab, I'm trying to think what's the best way to play around with this color that I know how to do. So if we go into our pixel, sorry, I shouldn't go over there. Ace Bright. Ooh, you found a color. I'll have to try it. Ace Bright. Stoke Fire. So if I do like this, that's our color. Put that in there. And then we do like a streams don't support images. Oh yeah, that would be cool. All right, so we do HSV and we make it a little wider. Either something like that. Or do you do HSL and do lighter? This color kind of gives it a little bit of grayish. Let's see. I'll try what you sent me. So if we did that. Oh. So that gives it kind of some borders. Is that grayish? Almost has a little pinkish grayish with it. But kind of interesting. Yeah. So I wonder though, if these buttons, I have to change that. If we use this blue, when you can click on a button, and then maybe it does fade to kind of like this disabled state where it's just like the white. I think that could be interesting. Kind of shows you can't use it, but then has that. Maybe we need to change this gray color. What do you want to do with button backgrounds? Like when I click into this one I'm gonna obviously update. Yeah, maybe what I was just talking about, like with the disabled state versus state, or yeah, this blue. I kind of like this blue. I think it at least fits in the palette. Yeah. I don't have to think of what another option could be. I think lighter, definitely lighter than the background so that it pops out. Makes sense. Yeah, it could be something different than this blue color. Wonder. Okay, so if I go here, border. Okay, and then if we threw this in here, more gray than blue to you? This has some weird borders here, but otherwise that kind of works. PY. MX4. I think this needs to be a PX4. Nope. Lag. Yeah, gray equals disabled. PY4. Activity indicator. I'm trying to figure out where that weird white padding is coming from, because that should be our view that has our default background color. I'm not giving any extra. Oh, maybe. Does this pop-up have something in it? Probably. Animated view. background. PX1. Maybe it's that. What if we got rid of that? Or just the background here? There we go. So that fixes that. Yeah, maybe we change the background of this to be gray once it's disabled, and then the loader kind of indicator is like a darker color. Let's see, so cooldown button. Let's see where this is. Yada, yada, yada. This right here is our gray. Already have the view from there. So yeah, if it's disabled, you could do like a different color. And then if it's not, BG dark, BG blue. Let's see, what did I do wrong? Villagers. Let's see, what do we want to call this? We could call this color dark blue, light blue. Call it light blue. Throw it in here. And we can play around with that color easier. Lag on that. Okay. Oh wait, I broke those borders somehow. Save that. Still not working? No. Maybe I'm doing something wrong with that. Oh yeah. Maybe it doesn't like my dashes for some reason. Not sure. If we did that, it's not how you're supposed to do it. I wonder if that fixes it. Okay. Apparently I didn't like my dashes for some reason. There we go. All right. So we could have the background stay the same, or and then if I go to cooldown button, we could do gray 900. It's a little dark. 800. It's kind of interesting, potentially. 700. That might actually be, that could be good. I think that draws too much attention to it. And 800 as well. So maybe 700. So then it's like, all right, you can't use these ones. They're the same color. And then the blue kind of pops out more. I don't know. It's decent. I can kind of see it. Or should we play around with some different colors? Let's see if I remove this. Oops, how do I go back? I think we have to like block these. So if we want all those and we say, this is just like a little color thing I found. If I do, oh, here we go. Plus, now we can play around to find a color that's supposed to match. Ooh, this is kind of interesting. Dark purple. This one's English violet. Dark purple, even more darker, darker than what we have. It could be interesting, actually. It's kind of like Warpcast. It's like a Warpcast color. I'm going to just save this one just in case we want to play around with it. All right, so we got dark purple. Got the brown. Is that even the same? Similar brown. It's not bad. Really green. We do need like a new red and green, like a darker red and a darker green color. Yikes, some of those. Eerie black. It's kind of interesting. This could be good for like any black. Well, might not be using it much black. We'll call it eerie black, like it said. Dark green, not really. That's a really ugly green. This green, not really. We have like error messages that are red and green that would be nice to have a good green color for and a good red color for. Okay, so here's a red. That actually might work. We'll say red. Put Put that in. That's a blue. That's pretty bright. Lime, yellow, green. Some of those really limey ones. Blood red. We'll save that one too. That one could replace the other red that we have potentially. Light green. I think we're going like back to the same colors. Okay, this green, maybe that green. Okay. Ooh. No, that's blue. All right. Green. All right, so we have some colors that can work with. I think that border, I don't know if that border quite fits. It's kind of pinkish looking. So I might switch that up. But yeah, we got something to work with now. Let's see, got to change some of these backgrounds. Let's go do that. So if I go to Relations tab, switch that, then we import our new view from themed. Let's just copy that. Go over activity. Do the same. Then updates. Let's see. So you're saying looks like a yellow, blue, red triad comp, but mainly using purple and blue analogous. Yeah, I guess so. I kind of know colors. I mean, I don't know colors that well, but Okay, at least these are kind of, we got to fix some stuff there. And some stuff there. But at least that's kind of coming together. We'll have to change these white lines to be more gray. But overall, I think I'm liking it. I don't know, what do you guys think? Liking it? Liking it? All right, where was that? Let's see if we go to relations. Selected button. And then this. Depends on what you want to focus attention. Yeah, so if you want to focus attention, you want that color to kind of stick out more, right? So like I feel like this blue kind of sticks out more. The lighter colors, I feel like, yeah, lighter colors. So background is purple. Its contrast is with yellow, but 90% tinnish, percent-ish. Let's see what else that I need to change. On the updates. The scroll view. BG. Oops, PG dark there. Activity tab. Yeah, so you're saying there is some contrasts here that makes it pop. Yeah, I like that. Want it to pop out. We could, instead of being purple, because now I feel like it's a purple app. Maybe we don't want to go that purple. Let's see, what other color? Let's just try, play around with, I think I did, was it your dark purple maybe? So I guess it's also purple, but here, so we just switch this out real quick to make it even darker. Here, let's get this out of the way. So we can see better. I don't think it changed. Oh, wait a second. There's like the same ones. Oh, no, it isn't. Yeah. So this should be darker. And then my themed. Force 2, 6, 4. Oh, so we're already using that there. I wonder if there's a way so I don't have to change it in multiple places. Let's see. Let's see if the AI knows. Is there a way to pull a color from Tailwind config? So then we can just programmatically pull it instead of having to color name, full. Purple blue analogous works. Okay, I like it. I like it. That sounds cool. I'm just going to try this real quick, see if it works. And then we grab this and we say dark. Possibly undefined. Oops. No, what are you doing? Or color name. We could do like this maybe. It's not liking this. It's not liking this. AI, you did me wrong. All right, if I just do this, kind of messy at the moment. But, you know, we're just trying to see if this works. Should be able to question mark that out. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Recursive key value pair. Why is this returning recursive key value pair type? Okay, maybe hard coding that. Casting it to a string works, maybe. All right, and then we have tailwind dark. So let's see. Let's see if that worked. Okay, definitely darker. Kind of like it. I don't know. We could maybe use that in some places. Like we could use that for the borders instead, maybe. Instead of this grayish color. Or we could use this lighter purple as the borders here. Keep this dark. I think that could be interesting. You know, it's kind of like you're in the nighttime, right? Like it's a dark night and you got your fire going, keeping you warm. That's kind of the vibe that we're going for. So I think that could potentially work actually. It's kind of cool. I can just grab these from the Tailwind config. So I might actually make this into like a helper file for us to use. Ignore. Every once in a while when I do some things in the code, it will just like make the simulator crash, make the app crash for whatever reason. New file, get tailwind color.ts. Do that there. It's cool. And then we can grab this and we can go over to our tabs layout. And use it here. Use it there, use it here. See what that looks like. Did not like something here. Let's see what it say. Doesn't exist. It does not exist. I just made it exist. What are you talking about? Oh, maybe in the themed. Oh, I did not save. That's the problem. Bada boom, bada bang. Now we are talking. We are making some progress here. All right, so if that's our dark, this could be, we'll call it purple. It could be our purple color. And so then there's a couple spots like on these cooldown bars where the border I think could be this purple color instead. Like here, I believe is one. Not there. Here. We want to make it look somewhat nice to look at this thing, right? That's the goal. Purple. Did I do up here? Yes. Did there. I already did here. Not here. Keeps crashing. Okay. I like that. I think that actually looks a little bit better. Maybe even making this gray be that color could make sense. There's a flash. Did you see that? There's a flash of color when you jump. We'll have to change these. Probably something in the tab view that I'll need to set up. Okay, I'm curious to see. So if I go in here and we make this be BG purple. Wait, not that. Yeah, not that. It's this one, purple. Here. That's kind of nice. It matches the border. That could work. Click these, that pops up. Good. Nice. Okay, it now is feeling like it's nighttime, which I think is what we want. I have to change that border. I have to change this color. A couple different things to change. Let's see if there's any comments that we can answer on Warpcast here. What is the benefit of pushing to the wire like this? I just blew 100 fire for nothing, learning as I go. Yeah, I mean, I guess the benefit is you don't have to pay fire as often, right? Like you can wait 3 days and you get more time to build up your resources so that you can grow your village bigger every time you stoke fire. Because you have to feed your villagers every time you stoke fire. So you're actually kind of using more food if you're stoking more often. How do we put our village to use? I'm not seeing anything on that. Yeah, so once you get to score 25, it unlocks allocating villagers, which I might move to score 15. Once we have more stuff to do, we'll probably move it down. So it kind of happens quicker. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so chat. I know there's a couple of you in here. What are you thinking? We're not complete here. Got to make some of these white lines, these divider lines should not be as bright. Probably similar. Oh, yeah, I got to change that. But with this kind of new base color scheme, what do you think? Is there any color you don't like? I definitely like the fire. The fire looks kind of nice. I think I like the darker background. It won't burn your eyes when you're playing this in bed. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is overall better? Do you like the color change? Do you like the palette? Is it kind of a laid back, relaxed vibe? Which that is what I'm going for, actually, because this is supposed to be kind of a laid back game, right? Like you're building your village over a long period of time. You kind of want it to be like a laid back game. That's kind of the idea. So yeah, curious if you think it does that well. I wonder if that background color of the little pop-up needs to change. Maybe it's fine. Gotta make that brighter. Color white. So let's see, activity, or no. Not a fan of the gray color. What do you think is the gray? What is the gray color? The button, like the Stoke Fire button? This? Which I see is blue. It does kind of, I mean, it's supposed to stick out to show that you can click that button, but maybe it sticks out too much. Is that the color you're talking about? Stoke Fire button color? Yeah, maybe that's what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, that button. BG dark. Yeah, maybe I could play around with that a little bit more. Okay, why didn't the activity BG dark, and then the view themed is dark. So this should be the same now. And then same here, BG dark on that scroll. That's interesting. Should be our scroll background that I have set to be dark, but it's not. Where is that? Right here. Because if I set it to be purple, that should be the lighter color. Yeah, it reminds you of Warpcast purple. It is a little similar, I guess. I wasn't really going for that to start out. I'm looking at the Warpcast purple right now. The Warpcast purple is even darker, actually. That should do it. What is the issue here? Let's see if I hard code it just to see. Load. Interesting. So that works. But for some reason, BG dark is not working, or it wasn't working. Yeah, still showing me that. Here, what if I restart? Maybe it's a problem. Maybe it needs to like reset a cache or something for the colors. Purple actually is my favorite color. It really is. Not, have nothing to do with Warpcast or anything. Purple is just my favorite color. And it has been most of my life. This is so weird. What in the world? It does not want to pull. Does not want to pull this Tailwind color for some reason. Don't make me hard code it. That'd just be dumb. It's like that's what we're setting. Dark here. Dark here for the scroll view. And then the theme view is grabbing the dark. Odd indeed. Well, we don't want to waste time on this. So if I do, just do that. It should work. Or it seemed like it was, weirdly. Weirdly enough. Should be the same thing. Okay, there. Okay, yeah, the blue, maybe the blue's bad. Maybe the blue is sticking out too much. So if we'll just walk in this, unlock this, play around with some other colors. That's really blue. That's kind of green. This could be another good green. I'll have to play around with our greens once I have that. I mean, we could even do a green for a button. We could do how would a brownish look? Would that be good? Maybe that would be good. I think it needs to be, it could be interesting. Rose ebony. Sure, we'll just call it rose. So if I bring that up, let's test it with our action button here. And we say BG rose. Reload. Hey, what's the deal here? Oh, good to do it here as well. My computer fans are really hogging trying to do this live stream as well. Obviously, we'll have to change like these loading screens. I think also like the text screens. Those will all have to be changed. So I'll have to make sure to do all that. Okay, actually, yes. I like it. I think it's better because it brings, browns and redishes and browns. I think those bring back older time vibes, which we are. We are in older times here. We are like in medieval eras right now, in this game, at least. What do you guys think? This brownish color, it sticks out. It doesn't stick out as much. And in some ways, it could be looked at as like a potentially kind of a disabled thing. Brown is nice. Yeah. Good. But I kind of like it. It's definitely a little lighter, easier on the eyes than that blue was. That blue was a little bit too bright, I think. So yeah, kind of liking that actually. Kind of cool. Let's see. Oops. Let's play around with any other colors. Yeah, Stoke Fire, and actually the Stoke Fire button itself, there's good argument to be made that this button should look differently completely. Like it should be a different shape, be smaller. Yeah, you're not going to do it as often. So maybe it should be something to show that this is kind of a special action. You only want to do that every so often. Yeah, making a change like that probably makes sense at some point. Another brown, green. I think I'm pretty happy with this, actually. I think that could work. A slide to Stoke. Yeah, like you like when you do like those bank transfers, or like I don't know if wallets have that. That could be interesting. Well, there already is kind of like a confirm button. So it's like maybe you slide for the confirm. That would be funny though. It's kind of like you're starting a fire. Like, you know how you're like with flint, you're like using flint. You'd want them to highlight it a little once they're available. Right, which they will. Once here, actually, I can use my wizardry on my local blockchain, because I have a blockchain running locally that this is running on, right, for testing. So I can do cast, jump, and then, oh, yeah, I got to change these. But then basically these they'll become the brown color. Oh yeah, slide up from bottom. Yeah, that makes sense. BG Rose. And then confirm. This should be. Yeah, so now these are brown. But then I have to make BG Rose here. Yeah, so basically, once they're enabled, they look like that, which is cool. And then we gather. Oh, there's some weird background stuff there. So that's good to know. I have to change that. Got to change all of these views. Notifications. Can't even see. No defense committed. Oh. Actually, now I think about it, that might be a bug that I accidentally pushed because I was testing something. Let's see. What branch are we on? Yeah, I might have accidentally pushed something I wasn't supposed to push, now that I think about it. We're in here. Set show. Set show reveal. Modal. Yeah, we should not be showing that. So we're going to have to fix that. Here we go. We're going to, let's see, we're going to stash all this. All right, then we need to remove this because that's not supposed to be there. Okay. And then fix showing modal when not supposed to. All right, you're seeing me update something live here. Gonna push out an update just to fix that. I wonder if someone's mentioned this. No one has mentioned it yet, so maybe no one's ran into it. All right. Commands. So then I have this command that now you can see. This is how I then update the app on production, and it just is like one remove modal showing. One command, and then this will send out the update, and that's where you click on the top of the village tab to update the view. So yeah. Then we'll have to apply all of our changes that we already had. Speaking of stoking the fire, I feel like I have probably an action I can take now. Let's see. It's coming up here. All right, there's all of our changes again that we had. My phone keeps going black. I think it's like out of space. Kind of struggling. This my iPhone is 7 years old. I have the iPhone 10. So yeah, it's pretty old. I'm going to probably get a new one here soon. All right, anyways, we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. And we've gotten pretty far with making our UI have this new color scheme and look better. Might even probably push this out most likely tomorrow, I would guess. Because got to just kind of make sure I hit everything, get all the little, don't miss anything. Like those borders, that color. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh. Yeah, we need to do some stuff there on these buttons and stuff. But yeah, maybe this is a good time to end the stream. Let's see, does anyone else have any questions? If I use the villagers to get food or wood, is it for the whole stoking round? They're asking about when I allocate villagers. When you allocate villagers, it's just for as long as it takes to do that action. So like for food, it takes 3 hours to gather. For wood, it takes 6 hours to chop. So they're just kind of held that long. Yeah. Sweet. Well, thank you for joining the stream, giving feedback. That was helpful. It was good to get some feedback on some of these different changes. And I think this is going to be cool. I think it's going to give it a better vibe which I'm looking forward to. And then I think I probably will like push this with these color changes and this new fire. And then I'll probably work on some emojis, like updating our emojis to look more pixely, which would be good. And that will be interesting because I'll have to choose colors, and that could maybe change how I think about some of these color schemes, because we have to choose colors that work for like our background, which the dark purple is pretty easy to fit, but these brown colors, maybe those would be harder to have like emojis that fit with that. I don't know. We'll see, especially for like wood, because it's like already brown. Yeah, so that's kind of some of the next steps. Let me see. What else can I say? I mean, some of the next things coming, I guess some alpha here. Thinking of some of the next things I'm going to build or do. We're going to have a shop in Stoke Fire. So that's going to be one of the next things. There's going to be a couple different items you can buy with Fire to help you, and that will be in the shop. So that will be kind of fun. There'll always be, there can be more items that we could add in there. So that will be good. And then the other thing I'm considering that could be one of the next things soon is allowing you to speed up chopping and gathering. And this would be more like a Fire, like a paid feature with Fire. And I think, you'd only be able to do it so often. So it's maybe you're only allowed to speed up like once a day, something like that. And so for people, it's kind of like two different tracks, right? Like there's kind of like the free track of like just playing the game and advancing your village as fast as you can that way. And then there's like an investing kind of track of, if you want to kind of invest further with Fire, you have to have the Fire. And then it burns the Fire to speed up gathering or chopping. And so then you can move faster to kind of grow your village quicker. And so then obviously it's like there's two different tracks there that you can kind of take. The main thing is it has to be fun either way that you play. So that's an idea. So yeah, that's kind of what's looking next. Thanks for joining. I will see you on Twitter and Warpcast, Farcaster, and I'll probably do some more of these live streams because it's fun to kind of build in public. See you in another one.